Question I was asked, Donald, how do I get referrals? What's your process for getting referrals? I'm going to break that down for you in a very simple episode. It's not too complicated and you can do it. The challenge is, are you willing to do it? Check it out. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. On this episode, we're going to tackle this topic of how to get quality referrals to skyrocket your sales. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, listen up. Subscribe. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, and I'll notify you every time we drop a new piece of episode. In addition, check this out. We're going to help you to make sure you can hit that 7-figure when it comes to selling. It's not difficult. It's very possible and depends on what product you're selling. But the point is, I've seen multiple sellers hit that 6-figure level. And I know sellers hitting that 7-figure level. And I know you can do it as well. And I want to give you everything that we have learned to help you to do so. In our episodes, we bring them into two categories. One, it's either pipeline development, or two, it's going to be so building pipeline or accelerating deals to the pipeline. This one is going to fall around building pipeline because it's around this idea of referrals. So I'm going to define what referral, and hopefully this can pop up on the screen and you can see it. Referrals is where a customer gives you an introduction to someone else who could be a good fit for your product or service. It doesn't mean a sale, but let me back up. Referral is where a customer or someone give you an introduction to someone else who could be a good candidate for your product or for your service. With that being said, how do you go about getting said referrals? Now, the ways that most people go about thinking to get a referral is that they find an exactly beautiful, happy customer and they get referrals from them. But I'm going to give you 3 ways. The first one, you find a perfect, happy customer who can introduce you to their friends. I mean, that's one of the most common ways, but I'm going to give you other ways. But here's the point, though. Think about the customers you currently have, people who like you, they love your service or your product, and they will tell other people about it. Automatically, they're going to tell others. Your goal is to get them to be able to be your advocates and to be your evangelists. Now, here's the stat. I've said this on multiple episodes. This is almost our 2000th episode. We're 1976 on this one. But here's the thing that I've found is that the study has proven that 90% of customers are willing to give referral. Only 11% ask. 90% are willing to give referrals. 90%, but only 11% of salespeople are actually asking for their referrals. I mean, it's not going to add up to 100%, but 90% of your customers, I'm repeating that, are willing to give, but only 11% of salespeople asking for it. So now, how do we go about making this happen? You just got to make it a part of the process. Maybe you can do something like monthly, or maybe it's every week. But just think about your active customers, people who you've done business with, who you're happy with, and you can ask them, based on your level of service, who else do you know that can benefit from our product or from our service today? And that's one way you can go about doing it. Number 2, let me give you my number 3. It's going to be my bomb diggity dong. Let's edit that piece out. Number 3 is going to be my favorite one, but let's go to number 2. Number 2, this is going to come from people who don't want to do business with you right now. I'm telling you straight up. So every time you're prospecting, this needs to be the habit. When you talk to someone and they are not willing to buy from you right now, or they say they're not interested, it doesn't hurt. Just ask them. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Before I go, do you know anyone else who are struggling with blank problem? Do you know anyone else that's struggling with XYZ problem? Now, I'm not asking for you to tell them who could give you a referral. We want you to talk about the pain or the symptom, because that's probably what they could resonate more with. If they're in IT, they may know other IT directors who said in a group chat or in some community they're part of, or probably at the IT directors meetup the other day, that I'm having a really difficult time with my AWS service. So they're not happy with it. Well, if that's the case, you might say, I may know someone that could benefit from it. They might say, send me the information, I'll pass it along to them, or let me give you it's XYZ at this organization, or let me introduce you to them. Whatever they say, the key is you want to get that introduction to them. You might say, thank you, I appreciate that. If they say, yeah, I'll introduce you to them, just get it taken care of. You might say, well, what's the can I get you a template you can send to them? Or perhaps they tell you like, yeah, I know someone who could benefit from this. I'll introduce you. Great. Find out what's the next step. Are you going to create an email today? Do you want to use a template that I have or whatever it is? And I say, sure, give me the template, and you can get that introduction. And that's one way. If they say, yeah, let me send me the information, you can pass it along to them. Say, sure, could I follow up with you next week? Or you mind me asking what organization they're from, or why do you feel that you'll be a good fit for what we have to offer? But just get some intel. Or perhaps they tell you, yeah, I know someone and I will point them to you. You can say, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then you can ask those other questions to get a little bit deeper to find out, like, out of curiosity, what company they're from, what industry are they, what industry are their business in. And the reason why I want to know, I want to make sure that they're going to be a good fit for us. And you can say, better yet, most time when people do this, find somebody that they have that's interested, we do a simple introduction. I can show you a little bit more about the service so you can be more comfortable to tell them about so you can tell them about it or introduce us. The point is, I found it that people are willing to do that. And especially if they get if your value proposition is clear and they understand the problem, they can give you that introduction. I have had people say, I will tell you their name and tell you their company. You can reach out to them. But then I ask them, could I mention that I connected with you? And they say, sure. That's a referral as well. It's someone that is willing to introduce you to somebody else who could be a good fit for what you have. Very simple, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, here we go. Number 3 is where you put some work in the game. And this is what I've shared this time and time again. This one, you go onto LinkedIn. You find the customer that you already, your idea. It doesn't have to be someone that's like, super like, your top best customer. It's someone who buys from you every so often, but they're a customer or they purchased a couple years ago. You can then reach out to look on their LinkedIn, look at their connection. And if you have Sales Navigator, it's even better. I would recommend that. And if you want to get Sales Navigator and try it this route, go to linkedin.com/TSE, linkedin.com/T to the S to E. And then you'll get a free 2-month trial as opposed to a 30-day trial that they typically give. Now, when you have that, you search for that particular contact underneath leads on Sales Navigator. Once you found that contact, you can then go on to their first-degree connections or search people that they know and that particular title or industry. So I might search for IT directors in the fintech world that knows, Jermaine Johnson, and that's my client. Now, based on who they know, it's going to filter it, and it might show that there's 20 individuals. And based on those 20 individuals, I can see people who are active on LinkedIn. And I can see there's 3 of them are active on LinkedIn, and the other 7, are not active on LinkedIn. Now I have 10 leads, but I'm going to go with the first top 3 because they seem to be more active on LinkedIn. I can engage with those people a little bit more when the deal begins to progress, and it just hit all the parameters that I'm looking for at this point. Now I would hit those I would ask my client, go back to Jermaine, and say, Jermaine, can I connect with you for a quick call? And sure, what's up? I noticed that you're connected with Murphy, and you're connected with Josiah, and you're connected with Mandy, whatever their last names. They're all IT directors in the fintech world. Are you close? Are you just connected with them, or do you know any of them personally? Well, I know all 3 of them. We're on a board together. Great. Do you think that they could be good candidates for this, in our case, our IT management service or our hosting service? You know what? I think they could be. Would you be willing to give an introduction to me? Give an introduction to the introduce me to them. There you go. Proper way of saying it. And I say, sure, because they're people that like you already. They're your customers. Again, remember the stat: 90% of customers are willing to give referrals. Only 11% of salespeople ask. It's going to be so much better when you come with them with the people, so they don't have to think about it. And that's why I say number 3 is the best. It takes work, but the beautiful thing about this is that your customers don't have to go and think, well, who could be a fit for Donald? And then they're going to think about it and forget about it. But right now, these people actually will be fit. They express, they could have expressed that they have a need of our services, and they're a right fit for this guy. And I may bring up the other 7 that I had that didn't go budge with it. And I say, what about these other ones? Do you know these personally? Like, yeah, I know those 2 of them out of there. So I just got introduced to 5 out of the 10, 50%, not too bad. And there's a high chance that if you get an introduction to 5 people, what do you think if from another customer using your product or service, what do you think the chances are that you get like 2 opportunities out of that? It's going to increase significantly. So when we talk about skyrocketing your sales, you can see how you can replicate this with each of your customers or each individuals. And you say, most of us right now, we can look at it and we can just see that we have like 5 contacts within an organization that we're going after. You may have a champion, you may have an economic buyer and so forth. Well, you may know 3 of them really well. And if you did this 3 times with them, you got like 30 people that you can get introduced to. And then you might find that you get like, 2 leads from each of them. I mean, that's not too bad. If you're getting 2 from all of those people, that's a good day, right? It's a very good day. 15 leads ain't too bad, right? Is it around 15? Yeah. So 15 divided by 2. But the point I'm trying to make is that you're going to get some opportunities. You're going to get some good opportunities that will look good for you, and the work is not going to be as complicated. It's just simple. So the way I would do this, you might say, I don't have time. Of course you do. You have time. You're going to do prospecting anyways. What if you just set apart 30 minutes a day? Not even that much. You need probably like 15 minutes and just put it on your calendar. I'm going to get referrals. And by the end of the week, you track your referrals just like you're tracking the number of calls you make or the number of opportunities that you want to get or so forth. Now, speaking about tracking, if you want to find something that can help you track your sales performance on a day-to-day level, I created a free software you can check out. You can find it. It's a spreadsheet that I used to use, and I said, you know what, I'm making this into a SaaS solution, totally free. My listeners can check it out. You can go to it. It's prospectpro.io. That rhymes. Prospectpro.io. Prospectpro.io. You can check it out and get that free software. It allows for you to track your day-to-day sales performance, how many calls you make and so forth. It doesn't integrate to CRM, but it gives you an opportunity to see your ratio. Every 10 calls you make, you get 2 appointments. Every 2 appointments lead to a deal. And it's a simple tool that you can take advantage of and track your referrals, track your ratios. And if you have any ideas how we can make it better, you can let me know. If you want to put some goals or some gamification in there, that would be awesome as well. Let me know. I truly appreciate that. Listen, I know referrals work, and I gave you 3 ideas. One of them is very common that you might know. The second one is uncommon from your people who reject you, who are not interested. And the third one, people who like you, then maybe some of your regular average customers. Yeah, but they all, I promise you, they know people, and you can use that LinkedIn tool, use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to help you. If you want to get more details about any of these things, you can check them out in the show notes, those links. And if you want to try LinkedIn, our LinkedIn training program, come on, man. You can check it out by going to thesalesevangelist.com/LinkedIn. Again, thesalesevangelist.com/LinkedIn. As always, I want you to thrive. I want you to succeed. But most importantly, I want you to raise your level of thinking. I want you to go out and do big things. See you on the next one.